Good morning, world. As we connect with these social media outlets,
welcome to the conference. Please enter. Thank you. Moderator ID accepted. All guests are currently unmuted. To mute all guests, press pound. For help and host options, press *0. You will now be connected with the conference.
good morning, awesome morning, incredible morning, fantastic morning. Good morning, world. We'd like to welcome you to the TMMGIC, the Movetway Mastermind Group Investment Club podcast. And we are so excited today as we finish part 3 with Dr. Joe Dispenza, because Joe ain't no joke. You will be inspired, you will be educated, you will be enlightened, and you will be entertained. Also, we're going to be featuring our breakthrough team, who will be giving their breakthrough thoughts on part 3. Spending time with Joe Dispenza. Also, we definitely got to acknowledge Lewis Howes. This was his podcast, so we thank him for allowing us to share with you. I'd like to acknowledge the different countries and different areas across the world that are connecting with us. We like to say good morning to Germany, the Caribbean, and England. The continent of Africa, Gambia, and Ghana. Good morning to you. Japan and India. Good morning to you as well. As we broadcast across the world, if we have not mentioned your area or your country, please leave the information in the comment section, and we'll definitely love to say good morning to you. Also, a great morning going to our country, the United States, Pacific, Mountain, Central, and Eastern time zone. We are the Movetway Mastermind Group Investment Club. The foundation of our club is built on the 13 principles of think and grow rich, core values that have helped so many people across the world. Arguably, it's created more millionaires and billionaires than any other book of its kind, and as I said, has helped many individuals reach personal success. Core values that help you think. And it's all about thinking. A lot of individuals out there right now are trying to grow rich. But what's the first word? Think. And then grow rich. Once again, we are just so excited. Our agenda is this. We're going to go through a 3-minute meditation. It's going to feature our COO, Mr. Barry Menser. Then we're going to go into our Vet Way 10 Commandments with Elaine Lang, and then the Breakthrough Declaration with Ebony Richards. And then Miss Deborah Day will introduce the Breakthrough team and their breakthrough thoughts. Getting some echo there. Excellent. Thank you so much. And their breakthrough thoughts. I tell you what, folks. Please get a pen and some paper, because you're going to learn a lot today. You will learn a lot today. So as I mentioned, we're going to go through Miss Deborah Day, and she's going to introduce the Breakthrough team with their breakthrough thoughts of the day. I'd like to, before we get into that and we get into our 3-minute meditation, in Think and Grow Rich, they talk about the power. And if you have an opportunity, make sure you get the book. You got to get the book. Go purchase the book. Now, you can definitely get it online, but I always recommend also getting the book so you can spend time with your creator. It's just extremely important to get the book. And when we talk about a mastermind, as I said, we are a mastermind group. We are a mastermind group because we believe in the mastermind. We believe in the power of the mastermind. Power is essential for success in the accumulation of money. We are investors. We like to invest in businesses. We like to invest in real estate. We also like to invest in the market. We're really excited about what's happening in Bitcoin right now. And we love investing in people. And when we talk about the power, plans are inert and useless without sufficient power to translate them into action. In this chapter, it describes the method by which an individual may attain and apply power. And power may be defined as organized and intelligently directed knowledge. Power, as the term is here used, refers to organized effort sufficient to enable an individual to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent. Organized effort is produced through the coordination of effort of 2 or more people who work towards a definite end in a spirit of harmony. 2 or more individuals. And as you elaborate on the book, it talks about how power may be acquired. If power is organized knowledge, let's examine the sources of knowledge. They talk about infinite intelligence. It talks about accumulated experience. It talks about experiment and research. And Dr. Jill deals in all 3 of those particular areas. And we're talking about gaining power through the mastermind. The mastermind may be defined as coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony, once again, between 2 or more individuals. So you definitely want to go get the book, spend time with it. We're going to talk about dealing on a psychic phase of the mastermind principles, which is much more abstract, much more difficult to comprehend because it has reference to the spiritual forces with which the human race as a whole is not well acquainted. The psychic phase of the mastermind. Thinking things into a higher level of existence. Being able to go through a self-analysis. Here's something for you. As you go through your process today, do this at 5 times. Write this down. Write this down. How should I be thinking? Write that down. How should you be thinking? Okay, I want you to write this down too. I am and I have the ability to heal my body. I am and I have the ability to heal my body. You write that down? I am and I have the ability to heal my body. If you're writing that down, how are you thinking right now? How are you thinking right now? And why are you thinking that way? And how should you be thinking if you have the ability to heal your body? I am so excited. So, we're going to go through a 3-minute meditation, and we want you to connect that thought process, I am and I have healed my body. Bring it to the Creator. And as we go through the 3-minute meditation, go through the affirmation, say that a few times. I am and I have healed my body. I am and I have healed my body. And when you go through that self-image millionaire mind movie theater, I want you to visualize yourself healthy. And go through this process. I am and I have riches in health, wealth, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money. I am and I have riches in health, wealth, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money. Now we're going to take you through a 3-minute meditation. Engage with us for this podcast. Use your imagination. Let's think things to a higher level of existence. Can we do that? I know a lot of individuals might be suffering financially right now, mentally right now, emotionally right now. But you can live better. This program is sponsored by the minority-owned funding program of Black Lives, Minds, and Money Matter. Here's 3 questions to help you engage much better. Do you like the way you're living? Yes or no? Are you living the way you want to live? Yes or no? Would you like to live better in 2020? Yes or no? If you answered yes, yes, no, just engage with us this morning. Even if you said yes, 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 can't you better your best? Can you heal your body in 4 days? We're going to address that. Don't go nowhere. Can you heal your body in 4 days? That's the question. Guess what? Dr. Joe ain't no joke. Black folks talk, think, and grow rich. Number 174 in reference to our podcast. So let's engage. I am and I have healed my... We are so excited. We're motivated. We're inspired. Today's a great day, part 3 with Joe Dispenza. We're going to talk about the power of Think and Grow Rich because that's what he's talking about, the power of the mastermind. Plans are inert and useless without sufficient power to translate them into action. Got to transfer that power into action. The chapter will describe this method by which an individual may attain and apply power. Why are we promoting this? Once again, the Mavet Way Mastermind Group Investment Club is built on the 13 principles of Think and Grow Rich. Arguably has created more millionaires in it and billionaires, or helped create more millionaires and billionaires than any other self-help book of its kind. So we're getting ready to get into Joe Dispenza, so we have to prepare everything and make sure everything is correct. So let's make it happen. Let's focus. Let's take this process to another level. So get your pens, get a piece of paper, be alert, and I promise you, you will be inspired. You'll be educated. You'll be motivated. And you will be entertained. So let's organize this and present to you Mr. Joe Dispenza.
It automatically, just as if your physical body would reject some virus coming in. Is that correct?
It's absolutely the way
So
it
I
works.
said, Dr. Joe, you can't do it. You're stupid. You're ugly. You're not smart enough. You're not this. You wouldn't even, they wouldn't even, it would just bounce right off you. You wouldn't even receive it because your field is so powerful. It's pushing all that away.
No, because it's not the truth.
There you go. You
It's
just
not
laugh.
the-
It'd just be
it's
like,
not-
okay, that's just not real.
But if I kept telling you, you know, you need this product, you need this drug to feel better, to look better, to be better, let's appeal to your lack. And if you buy this, it'll make that feeling go away. And you try it for a while, then the feeling doesn't go away anymore. You got to try something else. And now watch the news and listen to all that information. It's telling you you're limited. You're limited. It's something out there that's going to get you. There's nothing wrong with this. But if you're constantly saying it's traffic, it's the news, it's politics, it's my ex, that's making me feel and think this way, then you're subconsciously, not consciously, affected by your environment, and you'll be more affected by your environment. It's not a conscious process. But the more you say, I'm going to, in spite of the fear that we talked about, or the anxiety, or the frustration, or the aggression, or the hostility, or whatever it is, the pain, the suffering, instead of saying that I can't change that, you know what? I'm going to see if I can. Where can I find that information? And all of a sudden you find people that are doing it and it makes sense to you. And you're like, well, okay, I'm feeling really anxious. Instead of taking something that's going to chemically change me, let's see if I could chemically change me without something out there. Let's see if I can make my own pharmacy of antidepressants. I don't know. Let's see if I can make my own pain relievers. Let's see if I can make my own chemicals that cause my immune system to get stronger. I'm just curious. Let's see. Now the person they're out of the bleachers and they're on the field. So they'll start believing that they can do it, even if they change it a little bit. And if they don't get it the first 3 days, but they've seen the testimony of someone who has, and you see that person who's totally happy that was abused every day of her life and they don't have the genetic disorder any longer, you're going to say, wow, that person doesn't look like a movie star. That person doesn't look like they're vegetarian now. That person doesn't look young and buff or whatever it is. They're going to look like a normal person. And you're going to say, I identify with her. I identify with her. She can do it. I can do it. Now, here's the cool part.
Yeah.
We've seen then when people do this with the same, stand on the stage and tell the story, that the person in the audience with the same genetic condition does it in a shorter amount of time because the 4-minute mile's been broken. Yeah, it's evidence. So now evidence becomes the loudest voice. Why? Because it's in testimony. There's truth right in front of you. It's right in front of you. We had a guy in Dubai he was in a wheelchair with this tumor in his spine, and the doctor sent him home to die. He came across my book like a week before. They got him.
Which book?
Becoming Supernatural. And then he read the book and he somehow got in there. Someone gave him a spot. He was in a wheelchair, stage 4 cancer, go home and die, severe paralysis, a limitation, crowding the spinal cord, the whole bit. Nothing we can do for you, all these pain meds, excruciating pain. 1 week after the week-long, his tumor reduced by 30%. I just saw him in Munich. He can walk. He's walking without his wheelchair.
Wow.
I mean, he's in a new experience. He's believing now in himself. And when you believe in yourself, you believe in possibility. You can't have one without the other.
How do you believe in yourself when you've never believed in yourself and you've got doubt inside of you all day long?
Knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. Keep learning, keep studying, keep listening to it. Sooner or later, that'll become a louder voice in your head than I can. It's too hard. I'll never change.
Yeah. And you mean knowledge of new philosophies, knowledge of new skills, knowledge of new anything.
Study. If you don't want to read, get on YouTube and watch people talk about how you can change your genes. Just start looking at the testimonies on websites. I mean, we have over 450 testimonies now of people that have healed themselves. It's not small potatoes.
That's amazing.
Start looking to see, what did that person do? And when they tell their story and it's worse than yours, you're going to start going, wow, that person really had a tough one. And if they overcame it, well, geez, I could just forgive my father right now. I could forgive my ex right now. I want to let them go and I want to be free. And I don't want to give them my attention because I give them my energy. I'll put my attention in my future. Sooner or later, you're going to come to it the way you do. But if you don't have the knowledge, then you believe in it less. See,
Yeah.
there's people that I saw this just recently, and I was looking closely, and there are people that do this work, do this transformation work in the meditations that we teach, and they're so impatient and they're so entitled, and they want an instantaneous change from the lack and pain they're feeling, right? That they never overcome themselves in their meditation. They never overcome themselves in the meditation, and when they finish their meditation, they believe in this work less. Then there are people who say, I can tell you the moment I made up my mind to change, because I had reached the end and I made a decision. And that decision to change carried an amplitude of energy that was greater than the hardwired programs in my brain and the emotional conditioning in my body. And my body literally responded to my mind in that moment, that the choice that I made became a moment in time I would never forget. And they'll tell you, and that's the moment I remembered when I was going to change. Now, those people then, when they sit down to do the work, the chemotherapy hasn't worked, the injections didn't work, the radiation didn't work, the surgery didn't work, the diet didn't work, the yoga didn't work. This is now their end. They have nothing else to believe in but themselves. And they go all in, not 50%, not 60%. They're going all in. They have nothing else to believe in. Now listen, when they go a little bit outside the known, they went a little further than where they normally would stop. They pushed themselves to that next limit. They started believing in themselves that they could do it a little bit more. They finish the meditation and they get up and believing it's working more than working less. They're the person that's believing in themselves. That's why, because it's not the work, it's your belief in yourself, right? And then when you believe in yourself, you believe in possibilities. When you believe in possibilities, you got to believe in yourself. Who else are you going to believe in? So people make these great strides and their own personal growth is a testament to the living organism. The living organism, the species of human beings that's starting to believe, well, maybe we're not so as limited as we've been programmed to believe. Maybe we are more unlimited. And I'd rather throw in with that. And if you don't think your immune system isn't aware of viruses that could handle any virus if it got the right signal, and if it was in a state of wholeness and your thymus was activated and your blood flow to that center was turned on because you decided to turn it on, and you decided to release those chemicals that suppress the survival centers in your brain because oxytocin does, and you wanted to stay there for a period of time and memorize that feeling, I guarantee you that thymosin would begin to signal those T cells, and those T cells would activate their T cell receptors, and those T cell receptors would be releasing immunoglobulins and antibodies that would block those receptors coming off a virus like you may not pass. I'm sorry. This is the end.
So what advice do you give to people who are in the whole coronavirus stress, anxiety moment right now where they feel like the world is ending, there's no end in sight, I have to protect myself forever?
Yeah, well then be careful, because you're susceptible to it in that state. And listen, I mean, what a great, this is, I'm doing this event next week called Intermission or Intermission. Like, why not just take a pause, break from the normal routine? Everybody's secretly dreamed about staying home from work. Look, they got it. They got exactly what they want. They should be happy. Now, listen, okay, make a choice, okay? Who do you want to be when those doors open up again? Retreat from your normal life, your normal routine. Take time and ask yourself, what is a greater expression of myself? Who can I forgive? How can I change? How can I love more? What is it that's stopping me from believing in my future? What do I need to learn about myself? Well, instead of mindlessly getting lost in all those distractions of social, awareness, why not get lost in yourself and literally get, not only mentally rehearse it, but physically demonstrate it, become it. I mean, walk it, become it in your walk as it. See what happens for however long this goes. What's the worst thing that could happen to you? You get happy. I mean, so what? But those people who have fear, fear suppresses the immune system.
And so the more we watch and consume from a fearful point of view, I'm all for getting the right updates so we know what we should be doing.
Me too.
Not for it. Like, okay, get updated. You've got the information, which is powerful once you have more knowledge. but not consuming based on fear, worry, and stress. Because what happens when we're always consuming based on fear information? What does it do to our body? It hurts the immune system, right?
Well, listen, you only accept, believe, and surrender to information equal to your emotional state. A person
Wow.
who's not feeling fear is less programmable. But that information in fear programs the autonomic nervous system to an output. And the output is very specific gene expression. It's very specific things that happen to the immune system. So the more you change that and the more you have the ability to alter that, the less likely you would be susceptible to it. Because the more you believe you're the creator of your reality, you would say, I would never create that for myself.
Wow.
And now listen, the game changes here. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody should just run out and start breaking social distancing and handshakes and all that. Listen, do all the right things matter to matter, you know? Yeah, of course. And that's why when the thymus shrinks, as we age, elderly people have it's mostly fat tissue. There's very little immune function here. So they're going to be more susceptible. But if you understand that you can activate this center and it can make all kinds of wonderful things, it's better than any flu shot. I mean, why not take a chance? I mean, why not try it out do it for a month? I mean, every day, and yeah, get the information, study. I mean, I look at the news and see what's truth. I look for the right articles. But I'm also not going to do what's natural. I'm more interested in supernatural and if I've seen it in evidence in 4 days, God, imagine if you did it for a month. I mean, wow. I mean, they've done studies in the 1918s where they injected people with bacteria and viruses from their mucous membranes throughout their body, and most of them never got anything. I mean, like, how do you know? Who knows?
Yeah. What's the 60-second version of what you do on a daily basis internally to visualize your greater future self of what you want for your future to be, experience? Is there a process that you have? A brief process in 60 seconds or less?
60 seconds or less. I can make it less than 60 seconds.
Okay.
So, I mean, I ask myself, what is the greatest expression of myself that I want to present to the world today? Who do I want to be when I open my eyes? Let me become conscious of who I don't want to be. And let me become conscious of who I do want to be. And I want to become so conscious of who I no longer want to be that I wouldn't go unconscious to him the whole entire day. And if I fall from grace, I am going to give myself permission to get back up and continue. I'll love myself for that. And then I get clear on who I do want to be and how I want to think and how I want to act and how I want to feel. And I rehearse it until I get to that point where I feel like I am that person. And then I just say, memorize this feeling. And then I do my best the entire day to maintain that inner state independent of the conditions in my outer world. And if I do it well, then we start seeing those synchronicities, the serendipities, the coincidences that cause us to believe more that we are the creator of our lives instead of the victim of our lives.
I love this. What did you say to yourself about who you do want to be this morning? What was that like for you?
Oh, no, for me today, it was all about I wanted to be the expression of knowledge, the expression of information. I wanted to really feel like I'm more equipped every day in believing what we do and hopefully make a difference in the world in some way. And if I do that in a day, then yeah, I love that feeling.
I love this, man. I've got a couple of questions left for you. I love when you said all healing happens in the heart, and it doesn't seem like people teach us how to heal the heart from an early age. It doesn't. I don't remember media or teachers. I guess
parents, not even parents.
I mean, I grew up it's funny because I think I've told you this a few times now since you've been on a few times. I grew up in a religion called Christian Science where every Wednesday night we had it was called testimony meetings where we went to church on Wednesday nights to hear healing testimonials of other people in our community like us that we could see like, oh, I'm like Susie, or I'm like Jeff, or I'm like whatever. They were going through this challenge, whether it be a mental challenge, a physical ailment. And we would watch these testimony meetings. I mean, I would watch them and I would see, oh, wow, if this person can overcome this, so can I. And I started to have a different story. So this religion taught me a lot of things that you talk about. I feel like I had the privilege of going through and experiencing.
Right.
It wasn't perfect, and this, I had some of my own challenges, but I got to fortunately have this type of learning at an early age about testimony and about healing and about knowing the truth and about elevating your consciousness and your mindset through spiritual awareness. But in general, I don't feel like most people had that opportunity to learn these things. How do we get to a place of learning them, how to heal the heart, when it's not relevant? I mean, it's not information that's out in the world.
Yeah. Well, listen, I have taken a lot of hits over the
You
last
have,
20 years,
over
and now
decades, man.
I really don't even care.
You were the
I don't-
crazy guy talking
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
water changing itself and
Whatever. I mean, I was saying that our thoughts do have an effect on our bodies and our lives, and I mean, I want to demystify that process, but now, I mean, it's such an amazing
Yes.
time. It's in an age of information. Ignorance really is a choice. I mean, there's so much out there for you to understand what it does do for you in the right way. Now, discernment is another issue, because you got to learn. But again, if you can get people to retreat from their lives and to remove the constant stimulation in their outer environment that reminds them of who they think they are as a personality, separate from people and the objects and places and all that information that's reaffirming your identity long enough to learn information, new information wired in your brain, and then give people numerous opportunities to overcome themselves, numerous opportunities to connect. Put them in a community where everybody's opening their heart. Put them in the community where everybody's striving to overcome themselves. Start having be defined by a vision of the future instead of the memories of the past. Let's see what happens and keep giving them more information and keep evolving the experience. Once they start breaking through, energy naturally moves back into the heart. And when it gets to the heart, it goes right to the brain. And now I've seen this. We just saw the most beautiful scans in our last week-long event. We had a team of scientists come and study us. And when that heart starts getting more orderly and more loving, it's like taking a big sheet and just, there's a flood of energy right up into the brain. And you see the brain take this wave. And it goes right into alpha. And the brain's getting a creative energy. It's information that's being driven on that. And the heart is doing that in so many ways. And the field around the body is expanding. And now there's energy to heal. I mean, so a person, if it takes him a week to get there, who cares? If it takes him a month to get there, who cares? Because I just saw a guy in Munich when I was on our last event, and I was walking through the park when everybody was doing the walking meditation. He ran up to me, he grabbed me by the arm, and he said, listen, in that last meditation, I came up to my edge, and the next thing you know, I had the memory of me being a child and being abused. And I remember the feeling that I had, and I saw that beautiful guy, and I just saw him from a place of love. And I don't know, I had a heart condition. I haven't checked yet because I'm still at the event, but I'm telling you, I feel so much better. I feel so whole. I feel like I can breathe again. I feel like that kid again, like that young kid, pure, clean. So the healing took place in his heart, and he had to just have a moment where he was surrendered so much that new information could come in that was relevant to him. And that information's in the field. It's not just in his brain. And that the act of learning the formula on how to suppress the thinking brain and get beyond the analytical mind to reprogram, write a new story, record a new track, and teaching people how to rehearse something new. When they keep doing it over and over again, the side effect of it is that the body naturally moves into wholeness.
That's it.
And the person feels another piece is added to their heart, and something else that was broken, fractured, missing is more integrated. And they feel energy there. And of course, when energy makes it here now, you're more selfless. You want to give. You're okay with you. You don't care what people think of you. You don't care what your enemies did to you. You don't want to lose this feeling.
Yeah.
This is who you really are. And you start figuring it out. Now, this is the beginning of unconditional love, because oxytocin, or our oxytocin levels in our students can go up 200%. And just that's in a very short amount of time. So a short amount of oxytocin raised in the bloodstream causes a person to get to the point where they can't hold a grudge. You can't hold a grudge. Imagine you feel so good Why would you want to hold the grudge? You would want to free that person and free. You're like, hey, I'm great. You're not trying to be forgiving. It's the side effect of what happens to you biologically as a result of a person changing.
Oh, Dr. Joe, thank you for constantly giving me so much wisdom, and to our listeners and our viewers who love your information. I know you have a number of books that people should be diving into. What is the one someone should dive into first? If they can have some of this meditation practice, some of this visualization, where should they download on Audible or online to get this?
I would start with Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, How to Lose Your Mind and Create a New One. I think that's a good foundation for people. Then You Are the Placebo, another book that's a more evolution of how to heal by thought alone, and the power of how we believe and perceive, and then Becoming Supernatural, I think, would probably be a good one. But some people like Becoming Supernatural because they want everything at once. And if you want that, you can start there.
You read them all on the audios as well? That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then there's tons of stuff on our website for all kinds of things that we do.
Yeah, and your main site is drjoedispenza.com?
Yeah.
And you have events. Typically, right now they're on pause, but you typically have events a number of times throughout the year, correct?
Yeah, we do those week-long events on the average of once a month.
Wow. You're a machine, man. You're a machine of love.
It's too good. Surf's up, man.
I love it, man. I love this. So definitely, I mean, I've had so many people who've listened and watched over the last few years who've seen our interviews that have said they've gone to your workshops and they swear by how powerful they are. So make sure you guys pre-sign up for one in the future right now, because I'm assuming some are on pause currently, but the ones that are in the future, get on the wait list, get a ticket, whatever you got to do, get the books. Subscribe to you on Instagram, all the places online. Where else can we go to support you and get involved in this type of information?
Gosh, I mean, that sounded pretty good. We have we have like teleclasses, we do all kinds of things, but it's all on the website.
It's on the website. You can sign up for free courses, other stuff like that as well. Yeah. So amazing. What's the final thought you would share with us? And for people that if this is your first time being exposed to Dr. Joe, we've got 2 other interviews you can go watch or listen to. I've asked him his 3 truths and his definition of greatness over there, but I'm curious, and with the times that are happening right now, in this moment, where the world has never experienced this, at least in 100 years probably, what is your final thoughts on today?
Wow. We are all faced with great opportunities, brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. And there's always a door. That's how we evolve. And we have to see adversity and challenge from a greater level of consciousness, not the same consciousness that's created it. Otherwise, we fall victim to our environment, to rise to a different level of awareness and to believe in possibility. And when we do, of course, it awakens an innate capacity in us to be greater.
Dr. Joe, you're the man. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your wisdom. I appreciate it as always. Thank you.
You're welcome, Louis. Pleasure.
Now, we're going to hear from the Breakthrough team. I'm really, 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 really excited to hear their breakthrough thoughts. Part 3 with Joe Dispenza. Miss Deborah Day, good morning, good morning, good morning to you.
Great morning, millionaire. How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic. Could you pass the information on to the Breakthrough team, and also let's acknowledge who is listening and viewing the podcast, please?
Absolutely. We're going to start with our COO. Millionaire Mentor, please take the floor.
Good morning, Levette family, guests, and visitors. For me, this is actually an old school lesson that I try to remind myself from time to time that actually, if I remember, I think I learned probably 70 years ago. And it goes like this. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness' sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I try to remind myself of something I learned 70 years ago in terms of all situations. And I am a Vessel Lower Morning Millionaire Crusader Community Coach Trainer Investor because today is a great day to end up our meeting week by being in the community, reaching 2 individuals, 2 businesses or more, and sharing with them our information, our resources, and our results, documentation-based conversation. Back to you, Millionaire Deborah Day.
Thank you, Millionaire. Millionaire Darrell Mooney, please take the floor.
Good morning, fam. Good morning, kings and queens. Listening to Dr. Joe today for the third sequence segment is very, 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 very powerful. The first thing one of the things that I thought about when I was listening was the movie Limitless. I don't know if you all have heard about it, but it's a movie, just real short. It's about a guy who's an artiste, and he ends up taking a pill, a blue pill, that's a drug, and the drug opens up to 90% of the brain that one doesn't use, and he comes out of this depression. He goes into genius levels in multiple ways. His healing capacity is amazing. His recall, everything is almost at it absolutely is mentally at a super heroic level. Well, without really talking about the movie, eventually he's doing all these super things, and then eventually he finds out that he can duplicate what the pill has done in his own life for himself. He can do it naturally. So he gets off the drug and he goes to the task of doing it naturally. And he gets there, and he gets so powerful that he's able to do it himself, and he ends up running for the president and becoming the president of the United States. Well, this information here absolutely is about doing that limitless level naturally. Dr. Joe talked about rehearsing. Bob Proctor talks about a great acting coach that he used in order to help him create his powerful self. Acting, rehearsing, acting as if, affirming, auto-suggesting, visualizing, writing it down, acting as if, going for it, making it happen, rehearsing, acting, rehearsing, acting like your greater self. Acting like your greater self goes into acting like you want to be. You will soon be what you act like. The act as if principle, rehearsing, doing, being. Thank you, Dr. Joe. Back to you, Millionaire Deborah Day.
Thank you, Millionaire. Millionaire Elaine, please take the floor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mentor. What I take away that I got from Joe this morning, he talked about meditation that struck with me, and the heart, and how will a man make his way prosperous by meditating day and night. Take that meditation, going to that center, that heart, the heart of a man. And that's where we meet our Creator, the manufacturer of this human body, and surrendering to Him and letting Him download the path to our health and wealth and happiness and love, and being able to just control our thoughts. And our thoughts, when we control them, they will control they will create our destiny. and knowing that the issues of life are in the heart and that we can change those bad things by our words, our actions, our deeds, and our belief, our faith, that it's already done. And I am a Mavette Palora Morning Millionaire, Crusader coach, trainer, investor, because I will help 2 people, 2 businesses today get the money. Back to you, Millionaire every day.
Thank you, Millionaire. Millionaire Deshawn, please take the floor.
Good morning, millionaires and billionaires. I thought the message today was incredible. It delivered so much information. I think that one of the keys to our message today from Dr. Joe is meditating, focusing, and being and preparing ourselves at all times for whatever comes up. We can heal ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically. It takes focus. It takes faith. It takes that concentration of resources that we all, I think, have access to. I think that as we are going through whatever situation we are going through in life, we can all focus, meditate, pray. It's very important to me to pray, to get ourselves through an event or to cure ourselves, treat ourselves, cure ourselves of any type of illness that we have. Sometimes the illness is physical, sometimes it's mental, sometimes it's emotional. And we have that ability if we employ it. So I think concentration, focus, knowing that we can heal ourselves and having faith and hope are the keys to being better, feeling better, and growth in our lives. I am the Mavette Palora Morning Millionaire Community Crusader Coach Trainer Investor because I'm called to be financially free and support my neighbors in their financial freedom. And I will get 2 people and 2 businesses or more the money today. Back to you, Millionaire, every day.
Thank you, Millionaire. We have guests on this morning. We have Millionaire Chiquita, Millionaire Ebony, and Millionaire Monique. Welcome to the call. And if you are a guest and I did not call your name, we would like to welcome you to the call as well. Okay, so my comment to today's recording is, we have to ask ourselves the tough question. Mr. C asked us 3 questions every morning. And we need to continue to ask ourselves those questions and also even more tough questions about your life, about, the life that you have created for yourself. And know that whatever the answer is, and when you answer those questions, just know that you can change. You can change your immune system. You can change your life. You can heal your body. Knowledge is power. Dr. Joe spoke about knowledge. He spoke about reading, or even if you're someone who don't like to read, watching healing channels on YouTube, but continue to pump your brain with knowledge and to build up yourself with the power of the knowledge. Without the knowledge, you will believe less. Without the knowledge, you will believe less. So if you have the knowledge in your system, you have the knowledge in your mindset, you will believe more. You will continue to believe in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, but also you will continue to believe in you. But you also have to practice. You got to practice happiness. You got to do a self-check often. Practice happiness. Am I happy? Am I practicing love? Am I practicing peace? Am I practicing joy? And also being authentic when you do that practice. Be the true you, okay? Focus on the person that you want to become. And forgive those who have harmed you in the past. Don't hold on to the past. Forgive those who did you wrong. And continue to do a self-check. And if you have faith over fear, faith over fear, you will definitely walk across the finish line. And I'm going to end with the quote that I have lived by, which is, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. And I am a Mavette Fool, a morning millionaire, crusader, coach, trainer, investor, because I know that I have been chosen to inspire, and I'll get 2 or more people the money today. Back to you, billionaire.
Excellent. The breakthrough team giving their breakthrough thoughts and just doing an extraordinary, awesome job helping everyone get a broader perspective of Dr. Joe Dispenza. We like to end our podcast by acknowledging individuals who are utilizing our chat room, because we believe in strengthening our thought process as a mastermind group. We're a financial education and wealth creation mastermind group investment club. Our cause is to empower communities of all races and financial backgrounds through personal growth, financial education, and wealth creation built on knowledge, strategy, resources, tools, and a plan of execution where we work lockstep. We got access of over 200 banks across the country, and we specialize in helping people who are credit challenged. And as I said, we love to invest because we're investors. We love to invest in businesses, real estate, the market. Really excited about Bitcoin right now, and we love investing in people. I'm really proud of our affirmation chat room. I've affirmed for 1,131 days with the name of the I Am, Infinite Intelligence, Highest Holy Spiritual, Sixth Sense. Dr. Joe talked about being part of the supernatural. Woo! Highest Holy Spiritual, Sixth Sense. Insert your own energy source. If it's not the I Am and Highest Holy Spiritual, Sixth Sense, take over my subconscious mind. With my consent or cooperation, I have almighty power working at the basis of my life, then I have the ability to manifest anything I desire into its physical realm. Then I can do anything I ought to do. Go anywhere I ought to go. Create any wealth I ought to create. And be anything I ought to be. I cannot be defeated. The tools of the I Am, and I have riches and health, wealth, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money. Future Mavette for lower millionaires. For lower stands for financial universal law of attraction, financial wealth, and one accord community. Blessing for 8, 13, 20. These are individuals who posted yesterday. We acknowledge today. Members should upload affirmations every day by 9 a.m. Pacific. Don't miss out. How many days can you participate before going into 2021? Breaking the chain could weaken your blessing. The longer you can go, the stronger your blessing will be. We are in one accord and blessed and highly favored with the Creator, Deborah Day, Elaine Lang, Anisha Moore, Alethea Garrison, Monte Gilliam, Barry Menser, Ebony Richards, and Chiquita White. What an extraordinary 3 days with Dr. Joe Dispenza. And once again, thanking Lewis Howes for producing that podcast and allowing us to give our breakthrough thoughts. Don't forget to go to part 1 and part 2, not only to hear Dr. Joe, but to listen to the other breakthrough thoughts from our breakthrough team. Get together with us and allow us to show you our mastermind group, a group of individuals who are focused and dedicated to enhancing our communities across the country, as well as enhancing ourselves. We believe in giving back to get back. Knowledge is extremely important. And when you add strategy, resources, tools, and a plan of execution, and a collaboration in a mastermind group, it gives you an opportunity to achieve your dream and vision, your passion and purpose. Once again, we'd like to thank Dr. Joe, Lewis Howes, our CCTIs, and our breakthrough team for doing a incredible job. There's 3 types of individuals in this world. People make things happen, people watch things happen, and say what happened. It's an honor and a privilege to spend time with you, because we know you are going to make things happen. Be blessed. We'll see you at the top.